of course, this masterclass, it's called Audience of Buyers, right? It's all about how to build an audience who loves you, buys your offers over and over again. So my question to you guys first is, because I want to get an understanding of where you guys are at when it comes to your audience, the context behind it, how you basically just kind of like feel. So for you, let me know in the comments. There's no like right or wrong answer, but like, what does building an audience of buyers mean to you? Like, when you think of that, like, what does that mean to you? Just drop it into the comments, because this actually is a direct correlation of how you build an audience. And what I'm going to share is really going to help you build that connection piece, because right now you might be doing certain things that quote unquote should help you build your audience, but it's not necessarily working. Like, also let me know in the comments if you're like, yes, I feel like I'm doing all of like the actions, but it's not like working the way that I want it to work. Yeah, so let me know in the comments, like, what does building an audience of buyers mean to you? And as I wait for a few comments, I'll tell you guys like what that meant for me before I ever even like had a business. And for me, when I realized there's this thing called social media where people would literally just share their story, their experiences, share their lessons, what they learned, tips and strategies. I'm like, you know what? There are things that I have gone through in the past that I know people are probably like going through as well. And I'm like, if I could just share how I went through that transformation, then I know I could help somebody on the other side. So for me, back when I first started to post on social media, this was like, oh my goodness, this is probably back in like 2015 when I was like 19, 20 years old, 2015, 16, 17, like around that time frame. I was in college. I'm like, I'm just going to start to post on social media so I can just share my story and like help people. Like that was it. So for me back then, it was more about like, how can I build a community where I can just like talk to? I can have a conversation with. If I'm feeling like shitty, I could like make a post and like go to them. Or if I, figured out something cool or an experience that I did, I would share it on social media, because like that just brought me joy and I wanted to spread that joy with everybody else. Right. So for me, it was never about let me post on social media to like build an audience to sell to, but it was more about how can I create this type of community where I genuinely desire a community, whether people are buying or whether they're not. So Ali, she said loyal community that trusts you and connects with your brand. Yeah. So like whatever like your definition of it is, just keep that in mind, because that is going to help you connect to how you are basically going to be growing your audience and how you're going to be building it. So the mindset that I have behind building like a warm or hot audience, this is something that I always say has more to do with the connection with you versus the connection with the product, right? So like what I just said, before I ever even sold anything on social media, people followed me because they loved me. They connected with me. I was like, doing a whole bunch of shit on social media. I was in college. I would do like challenges. And when I say challenges, guys, like I would do kindness challenges. Like I would be on the street giving out flowers. I would document myself doing that. I would do challenges where I would push myself outside my comfort zone. It's like when you guys see me do challenges now, it's more so like master classes or trainings, webinars, like whatever you want to call it. That of course works. But back then I would do things that I wanted to do and I would share it with my audience. So what happened was when people would see my videos, when people would see my posts, they started to make a connection with me, not like a product I was selling. So, and this is me jumping ahead of myself, but that's okay. So what happened was over time, when I started to build an audience, and then eventually when I started to monetize, when I wrote my book, you guys can see it back here, when I started to do like one-off sessions and like master classes on specific topics. And back then I wasn't teaching people how to like, build a business because I hadn't even done it before. It was more so topics on like confidence. It was topics on how to get featured on like PR and publications, how to speak on stages, like how to build like the brand outside from making money. That's what I did. And of course, it was simpler for me to sell to my audience because there was no, this is why you should buy from me. right? It's like, let me know in the comments, just drop me in the comments if you feel like there's a disconnect with your audience right now. You're like, I feel like I have to over explain myself in order for them to buy from me. Or I feel like I have to justify what I'm selling. Or I feel like I have to like make sure that I'm like the perfect person to buy from. Otherwise, they're going to go buy from somebody else. And like, this is just self-awareness. If you're like, yes, I've experienced this before, and let me know in the comments, or like, I feel like I'm experiencing this now, or I feel like I've overcame it. Like if there is that disconnect, it's probably because you're building your audience based on your products and not based on you. And if you guys have attended my master classes or have worked with me, you've probably heard me talk about this like millions and millions and millions of times before. It's like people don't buy from the product, they buy from you. They buy from you over and over and over again. And the perfect example of this is I was thinking about when I was putting together this slide deck was like, what example do I want to share with you guys that has nothing to do with like coaching or business or investing into coaches and mentors? Is let me know in the comments, do you guys know Alex Earl? Just say yes in the comments. If you're like, yes, I love her, I know her. She basically blew up on TikTok. And if you guys know her, you probably know her through TikTok. Of course, she's on Instagram too, but like she's a student and she goes to U Miami. Okay. And I come across her videos every so often. And she like does a lot of makeup. She always does like get ready with me. And she uses specific makeup products. And I'm like, oh, I'm interested in makeup, like in makeup. I love to watch people do their makeup because it's just like satisfying. And I always see her using like specific like lip liners, lipsticks, and this new like eyeliner. It's like a white tan eyeliner. And it's from Tarte. And I just like noticed that because if you guys are also on that side of TikTok, you know that Tarte does like amazing fucking job with influencers to blow up their products on social media, which is exactly how they got me to actually buy a product. So the other day I went to the mall. I'm like, I feel like going shopping. Like I wasn't necessarily going to buy these products. I go into Sephora and I'm like going through, browsing through. I don't even remember why I went to Sephora. I think I was buying concealer. I was running out of concealer and I end up in like the Tarte lane. I'm like, oh, like, let's check these products out. And I see like the lip liner and I see the eyeliner. I'm like, ooh, like I've never tried these before. Let me buy it. And I go to the register and I buy 2 products from Tarte that usually I don't use like that, like their brand. But because I like Alex and I watch her videos and she always uses the products and she's never like, you know, like go buy Tarte products. Like she might say like here and there, but it's like, she's basically just using them and she tells her audience what to use. I'm going to remember that when I go to a makeup store. So like, can we just like think about that for a sec? It's not like I bought it from Tarte. I basically bought it from Alex, right? Like, of course, that's the product. It's from their company. But since they did such a great job connecting, you know, and getting the products in the hands of influencers, and even though like whether she used it, whether she not, whether she was like a brand partner with them, of course she is because she's going on these trips. But like the entire point of this is I like certain influencers, certain coaches, certain mentors. And because I like them, I'll buy what they use. Right? It's like for anything, honestly. Yeah, she's amazing. She blew up so fast. I love Alex Early. Yeah, she's awesome. I love her too. But you guys get the point now. It's like if you can build that connection with your audience, it is going to make them basically just buy everything they use just because like they have this connection with you, right? And like another thing that I'll say too is like, this is something that can be done like consciously or subconsciously, but there will be certain things in my videos where it might be jewelry, it might be an outfit, it might be something that I use on a daily basis, it might be my sign back here, certain things that my audience will pick up on. And then every so often I will get messages through Instagram saying, hey, where did you get that top? Or where did you get that dress? Or where did you get these lights that you use for your training? And I'm like, oh, like, that's cool. Like, obviously you guys know, like, I don't promote products basically aside from like my coaching business, but I'll get these messages. I'm like, oh, that's interesting because some of these people are also my clients. They follow me, they join my master classes, but they're still curious on other things that I use. So this is why, like, being intentional of how and what you're sharing to your audience does actually help you, like, build that audience who absolutely just like fucking loves you, right? Because that's what we all want, is we want an audience who just loves you, because when that happens, then it's not just like a community where you're just selling products, but you actually feel like a deep connection with them. So this is now like self-awareness. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your current connection with your audience? 10 being like absolutely fucking amazing. Like, I love them. I feel really connected to them. Every time I talk about something, I post something, there's like comments, engagements. Every time I host a training masterclass, there's people that show up live. And then of course, every time I sell an offer, people want to buy. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your connection with your audience? And it doesn't matter where you guys are at. This is just self-awareness. And I always say, like, there's always refinement everywhere. 10 for sure. Yeah. And if it's a 10, that's amazing, because now it's just more so like amplifying what you're doing to get exposed to new and bigger audiences. Rock 5. Yeah, so it doesn't matter, once again, where you're at. You just want to take self-awareness of where you are at, so that way you can continue refining. So building a connection with your audience happens through basically what I just talked about. But if we were to zone it in a little bit more, it happens through interests, it happens through likes, and it happens through like common topics. Okay. So of course, if you're on social media, you're creating content like Instagram and Facebook, you're talking about like business and growth and social media and mindset and fitness, like whatever your niche is, of course, people are going to follow you because they're also interested in that topic. But there's another thing that happens when you start to talk about certain things within your business and within your life that also has to quote unquote do with like your business and your brand. So for an example, something that I'm very interested in is fitness, like health and fitness. I don't teach health and fitness in my like company, in like my practice, in my business coaching practice. Like it's about business, right? So like I don't have any offers or programs around health or fitness, but it's a direct correlation to me being a very successful business owner. Because if I move my body, if I work out, if I'm healthy, I make more money. So if someone on social media is, let's say, like they don't know who I am and they're looking for a coach to help them grow their social media and sign on clients every single day, they come across my profile and they see me on my stories at the gym, or they see me drinking green tea, and then they see me talking about working with clients, or they see me talk about a masterclass. In their mind, they're like, oh, like she has her shit together when it comes to health. And that's something that I also have a very high value in. And then maybe there's another business coach who is basically just always like, doesn't really show that side. They just show them like working on the business. They show them, I don't know, like creating just like content, stories, client results, but they never show like anything else. That person who's watching me versus somebody else will probably start to follow me more and eventually buy from me, because of that interest, because of that common like and that common topic. Some other things, and I think Haya just jumped on. She said this to me before, so I'm going to use this as an example. So Haya, if you're here, hello. She said one of the reasons why she started to follow me, we were in like a mutual mastermind together, and then she started to join some of my programs. But one of the reasons why she started to follow me was because of my fashion, because of like the clothes that I would wear. It's like every time I wore something, it was something like cute. And I know for me, somebody who loves fashion, someone who graduated with a fashion degree, I also like look at that for like potential coaches and mentors and people that I invest to. And it's not something where it's like, if you dress shitty, I'm not going to work with you. But it's more so like I'm more enticed to work with people who have like fashion sense. And the reason why, once again, is because I like it. It's a common interest, right? And of course, this is not something that people might like consciously be aware of, but subconsciously, this is like a thing, right? Like this is a thing. And put a 1 in the chat if you guys are following it with me. Because think about it, like this is also just with like friendships, right? As you guys are building an audience, you're basically building a friendship. When you meet somebody and you're interested in numerous different things with them, you're probably much more likely to become friends with them versus somebody else who doesn't have the same interest as you. Same thing when it comes to your audience. So this is just more so like, excuse me, like being a little bit more intentional and aware of what you might be sharing on social media, right? Because if you're not sharing more than just your products or more than just what you do, this is where you might want to add in a little bit more. And one last thing that I'll say, because we haven't even gotten to like the good stuff and we're already 20 minutes in, is this isn't something like, this is something that I do, like I personally do intentionally, but like I don't forwardly always talk about it. Like it's something that happens in a subconscious level. So for an example, if I do have a nice outfit on, or if I'm dressed up to go somewhere out, what I'll do is I will snap a picture in front of my mirror and then I will say something that has nothing to do with the outfit. Sometimes I will, if I genuinely want to, but other times I might say something about, I don't know, something random, like a thought in my head, a story, something about, you know, the masterclass, like something that is basically irrelevant to the outfit, but subconsciously it still works. It still works. Same thing if like I snap a picture of me at the gym. Same thing if I'm like making green tea. Sometimes I'll mention it, but a lot of the times it'll be like just in the background. But guess what? People are going to pick up on it like subconsciously always. So those are just some things that you want to think about when it comes to putting that content out. Okay. Awesome. One. So let's shift gears and let's get into basically what I call like the 3 pillars of building an audience. Now, there are, aside from these 3 pillars, there are a lot of different ways to build an audience. But specifically for this masterclass, I wanted to zone into like the top 3 ways, the top 2 ways, the top 3 ways that I am building one right now and what I see working the most. Okay. So we're going to go through video content, collaborations, and then online events. Okay. And if you guys are taking notes, you guys can take notes, or of course it's going to be in the Facebook group if you guys are just sitting to just like consume right now. So video content. Now, content in general is of course how you build an audience, right? But specifically for this masterclass, like what is working right now is video content. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if you were to ask me, what is like one of the fastest ways you can grow an audience with content? I would say content with hashtags. Like that's what worked. Content, you put hashtags, you get exposure. Now that still does get you some exposure, but what I see working the most is video content. So why video? It is because it's getting pushed out to people who don't follow you on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. Like just the other day, actually, this happened today, and then this also happened the other day. Someone found my videos on TikTok. They sent me a message on Instagram. Actually, they didn't even send me a message on Instagram. They joined my membership, and then they sent me a message on Instagram saying, hey, I found your TikTok videos and I absolutely loved it. I'm excited to be in like the membership. I'm like, who are you? And where did you come from? Right. So like video content, if you guys are not focused on creating them and refining it, this is what I would focus on, like honestly, every single day. If you're not creating videos every single day and your main goal right now is to grow an audience, I would start doing it right now. And when it comes to video content, sometimes people will think, like, oh my gosh, it's kind of scary because now I have to like create the video and I have to edit it and I have to put it together and I have to think of the headline. But in reality, video content is basically the same thing as written content. It's just in video form. So what I would recommend doing, and to make it really simple and easy for you, is just start to create video content that connects people to you through story and education. And I'm going to show you guys a few examples of my videos that I have done that's worked like really, really well. But like, since Reels, Facebook and Instagram Reels are still like very new. Of course, they've been around for a few years now. Since they are new and Facebook and Instagram has a direct competition with TikTok, that is getting like the most exposure right now. Like hands down, it is getting the most exposure right now. And let me know in the comments, because I'm curious to know, all 10 of you that are watching, are you focused on video content? Like just say yes or no. And I'm also curious to know, if you are, which platforms are you focused on? Because I wasn't supposed to go through this, so I'm going to go through it quickly right now. My entire strategy right now of what's working really well for me is I basically see like TikTok on the top of like quote unquote my funnel, where I am getting a lot of people to follow me through my TikTok videos on my actual TikTok profile, but then also they're following me on Instagram. When I funnel people through my TikTok to my Instagram, they start to consume my content on Instagram and they watch my stories. On my stories on Instagram, that's mainly where I sell my content. So if they find me on TikTok, which is once again the easiest platform to grow an audience, if you guys are not on TikTok, like I don't know what you're doing, you need to get on there and you need to start growing. We just hit like 17,000 followers on TikTok. But when people start to follow me on Instagram, like I would say that's my main platform where I convert clients. Like that's like the main place where I post my stories, I do all the things. So what happens is, if I'm also posting though like the same or similar videos on my Instagram and my Facebook, then I'm basically getting exposure like everywhere, right? It's like on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Facebook. But I'm using like the main mechanism, which is getting me the most exposure, which is through TikTok. Okay. Yes, TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube. Yeah, YouTube Shorts are also like, they're working fairly well. I've been repurposing some of my TikToks on YouTube Shorts, and the other day, like one of them got like 5,000 views, which is pretty good and pretty cool. But like video content, if you're not doing it, like focus on it. And down below, the frequency, like honestly, I would be doing this on like a daily basis, especially if your main goal is to like grow, which of course, if you guys are here, right, your main goal is to grow your audience right now. So I want to show you guys, before I go into the next one, I want to show you guys an example of a video that I posted. I think this was in 2022. Yeah. So I posted this almost a year ago now, and it's pinned. You guys can see it's pinned to the top of my Instagram profile. 280 likes and 257 comments. Now, this reel is basically, I don't know, maybe like a 10-second reel. I'll just play it right now as I'm talking. That says how to make 10K plus on Instagram. And it says like free guide. And it's basically a freebie to a 7-page document where I walk through how to use Instagram to attract and sign up clients. Comment below if you want it. So this has like performed so well for me that like a few months ago, I was going to like recreate it, but I'm like, it is still working. I'm just going to keep it on there. So almost every single time someone finds me through Instagram or on TikTok, they will download this. They'll either comment or they'll send me a direct message asking for this. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you don't have something like this on your profile that's pinned, I would create one, because what this does is it builds my email list, right? We always want to build our audience somewhere else aside from just social media platforms. Number two, it gives them something potent for free. That's good. So the 7-page document isn't just fluff. It's like literally tangible advice and tangible things people can do right now to attract buyers. And then there's an email automation set up where basically like the back end, people are getting sold into, or I'm inviting them into Monetize social membership, which is like my monthly membership. And then also at the end of like that 7-page document, it talks about the membership if they want to continue learning from me. So this is my thought process with this. If there is somebody that's quote unquote cold, they come across your profile, they just fucking love you. They find a video like this because they already love you through like a video you posted. They're like, oh, I want to learn more. They download this within like a few minutes or 30 minutes or an hour, depending on whenever they go through that freebie. They can immediately become a buyer because that like funnel, that transaction was just like so smooth. So smooth. So I would highly recommend having something like this. And even if, because I know some people are going to say, or you might be thinking this, I've tried posting something like this before, but it didn't perform that well. I would still pin it to the top and continue making something like this on a weekly basis until you have one that performs pretty well, and then replace it and pin it at the top. Because this is something that is basically just like constantly helping you build your audience over and over again. Because when I think of building an audience, it's not just on social media, it's also like with your email list too, right? Because of course, all of us are businesses, you know, we want to help our audience have the transformation that happens through the offers that we sell. Okay. So that is one example. And then another one that I found that I wanted to highlight was this one that I posted on my TikTok that a lot of people start to follow me through on Instagram. Was basically the top 3 most profitable business ideas to start in 2023. Okay. Now, this is one, as you guys can see, I can't pause it for some reason, so it's going to keep playing. I was doing my makeup while I was talking about something that a lot of people were interested in, business ideas to start in 2023. So when I look at TikTok, yes, there are people that are my ideal clients on TikTok. Like there is a niche out there who is the perfect ideal client for me. But what I have learned is broader, quote unquote, and a little bit more general topics get more exposure on TikTok. And the reason why is because when you look at the entire pool of who's on TikTok, it is a little bit more like general and broad. So I know a lot of people are wanting to start a business, or for you, a lot of people want to get in shape, or a lot of people want to learn how to do makeup, like whatever your niche is, a lot of people want to learn how to do it. Now, I have found after testing a lot of videos, if you are doing something in the video, aside from like what I just said earlier, aside from what you're actually talking about, it will get you more views. I like to do makeup. I put on makeup almost every single day. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to record myself talking about a topic that has nothing to do with makeup, but I'm going to do in the background. Same thing. If somebody who wants to learn from me also likes makeup, or they're just intrigued and interested in it, they will follow. Now, of course, like it might not happen with every single person, but it does help. Okay. So let me know in the comments, because I'm curious to know, is there something that you can do in the background that is going to help you get more engagement, because it's basically something else in the video that's keeping their attention, but then also be something that like you like. Let me know if there's something that you can do. Lauren, cut fruit in your video, they always get so much engagement. Yeah. I remember one time I was making avocado toast, and it had like, once again, nothing to do with avocado toast at all whatsoever. And I got like thousands and thousands and thousands of views. I love that. So let's go back to here. Okay. So the second thing is collaborations. Okay. So when I think of collaborations, this is basically like getting exposed in front of other people's audiences and connecting with those you have like common interests with. So once again, like I did this a lot. I used to have a podcast show, if you guys didn't know, before I ever even had a business. And I had a co-host who was also in college. And what we did was we basically just interviewed successful entrepreneurs and business owners. And people start to follow us because we're interviewing these successful business owners and entrepreneurs. So I feel like collaborations, and you guys let me know in the comments if you guys do these pretty frequently, but I feel like people underestimate collaborations. It's like they know they need to do it, but they don't actually do it. And the reason why I say this is because sometimes people will do it once or twice, but then they'll stop. The power of doing it consistently, it actually fucking works. Like it works really, really, really well. And when I think about collaborations, this is basically interviews. And when I said right here, both ways, whether you're getting interviewed or you're the interviewee. Okay. Sometimes people think getting interviewed is the only way to get followers, get buyers, get clients, not being the interviewer. That couldn't be further from the truth. And you want to know why? Is because if you are interviewing quote unquote influencers, successful people, those people will start to follow you if they like you. Remember, it's not necessarily always about the product and the niche and the expertise. If they like you, they like your energy, they like what you're about, they're going to follow you. This literally just happened to me the other day. I started a new series, and I'm saying it says that right here. I started a new series on Instagram, and it's basically a live Instagram show. I started it back in like, I don't know, January or February. And I basically made a post on my story saying, hey guys, I'm going to start a new show where almost like, I think I do it like twice a month, at least twice a month. I'm going to bring in people that are just fucking like killing it in the industry. And we're going to chat with them and learn what they're about, what their vision is, what their brand is, what movement they're creating, like just what they're up to. Of course, I bring on certain people that I know my audience would be interested in. And I like when I do that, what happens is when I go live with these people, like their audience gets notified, my audience gets notified. Their audience will show up on the live, my audience will show up on the live. So same thing. If I'm interviewing the other person, I'm still placed as authority because I have a relationship with them, because I have a connection with them. I cannot even tell you how many times I have interviewed people. Someone reaches out to me through Messenger to download the freebie or join my membership or join another offer. And they're like, oh, I found you from the interview you did with X. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, that's amazing. That wasn't even my intention, but cool. Like, awesome. And for me, like when I do this, of course, I'm doing it because strategically that helps me grow my audience. But I also genuinely love to connect with other people that I vibe with. So I won't get on interviews or do interviews with anybody. Like there's a lot of people that I can interview and a lot of people that I know can interview me too. But like the main thing is you want to make sure there is like common interest and you want to make sure there's a good vibe, right? Because the last thing I want you guys to do is to like do this as a strategy and then get on like a shit ton of lives. And it's like, like every single interview I've done and every single person who has interviewed me, I'm like, ooh, this is like really, really, really good stuff. So of course you can do this on podcast shows. I know some people still do like Facebook group interviews with special guests. I do Instagram lives now. And the reason why I like Instagram lives is because once again, like your audience gets notified when you're live. Of course, that happens with Facebook too, but it's a little bit different because if people are following you, the people that go live, it's like the first bubbles or the first few bubbles when you're looking at people's stories. So of course, if someone's like following you, you're on their like watch list in terms of people they might want to work with, they see you live, of course they're going to tap them. Okay. And then one more thing is doing dual trainings with other people. So if you have certain people in your network who aren't necessarily like, they don't do exactly what you do, but it's parallel to what you do. So for an example, like I would probably do like a dual training with someone who's like really focused with like mindset or energetics or even like health, something that might have to do with like performance, something like that, where they're not like necessarily a business coach, but it's like direct parallel of what I do. I could do like a dual training with them. And that way, when we're actually like promoting the training together or promoting the masterclass, our audiences are getting exposed to one another. I haven't done a lot of these because just for me personally, I just don't really like them that much. And it's more so just because it's personal preference, but I have seen people do this and it works like really, really well for them. So if you're somebody who's like, I love to do like teachings with other people, I love to bounce off of other people's ideas and energies, I'd recommend doing this. But if you're someone who's more like, I just really like to connect with other people, I would really focus on doing like interviews, getting on shows, getting in front of other people's audiences. Okay. Now, frequency for this, like how often should you be doing this? I would say on like a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Okay. So like what I just said, I try to do at least 2 interviews a month. And when I say interviews, I mean I'm interviewing other people. And then on top of that, I try to get on other people's like podcasts or Instagrams. And the cool thing about this too is the more that I've been doing interviews with other people, the more people have been reaching out to me asking to interview me. And the reason why also is because I will literally get a message saying, hey, I see you've been going live with this person, this person. I've been meaning to do another live and I want to do it with you type of thing. Like this happened just last week where she pointed out 2 people I went live with and then she wanted to interview me. So when you're like, it just goes back to when you're like constantly seen, you're constantly visible, people want to also be visible with you. Okay. So don't underestimate like the power of just like collaboration, just like getting in front of other people's audiences, but like making it a point too. And not just doing it for like a month, not just doing it for like a week, not just doing it once or twice, but like making a point to do it more and do it more frequently. Let me look at the chat. Or the more exotic the fruit, the more engagement as well. Oh, I'm sure. It's like if you're cutting like a dragon fruit or a star fruit. Awesome. This is very helpful. Thank you. I'm working on a collab right now with a veteran and utilizing ChatGPT. Yeah. That's awesome. Ooh, masterclass in May. And the reason why I said it that way is because in Monetize Social Membership, our theme is masterclasses, masterclass madness. And that's so exciting. I love that. So the last thing I want to focus on is online events. Okay. So this is something that I've also been doing like consistently for so long. That's helped me really build my audience. And I want to say this is one of like, quote unquote, the quickest ways to build a connection with your audience and attract more buyers to your offers. And when I say online events, this is basically masterclasses, trainings, summits, challenges, workshops, all of the above. And I have done almost like every single one of them. And every time I do, I build my audience. I nurture my current audience and I get clients every single time I do it. So once again, what this does, it helps you attract new followers. So for an example, let's say you are planning a masterclass in May. You go live and you interview somebody, or you get interviewed, or you create a live video. Someone likes your energy, like the topic you're talking about, they like something about you. They come to your profile, look at your stuff, notice you're hosting something that's free. They sign up, they attend, they like what you're about, and at the end you invite them into one of your offers. Boom, you get a client. That's how I think about this. So I've been doing free monthly online events for like years. Like every single month, there's something free that I do. Whether it's a masterclass, whether it's like a structured live video, whether it's a training, whether it's like a challenge, a workshop, anything, like every single month, I make an intention to do something for free because this really, really, really does help you build your audience. Now, sometimes people might be like, okay, it seems like a lot constantly doing like a free masterclass or a free training or a free X, Y, and Z. Now, the main thing is what the topic is of the online event matters and how you're promoting it. If you have been doing online events and they're just like not sticking, or it feels heavy, or people aren't like showing up, it might be because the topic isn't good and you're not excited to actually do the masterclass. Okay, so how to pick a topic is I usually try to think of a topic that I am currently quote unquote like doing really well at, winning at, or my audience wants to learn from. So perfect example, a few weeks ago, I did a poll on this Facebook group and some of you guys probably voted in it saying, what do you want to learn the most right now? A lot of you guys said how to build an audience, and something that I have been currently winning at is building an audience. Like, and when I think of like currently winning at, there are certain things, certain wins that you are experiencing right now that your audience probably wants to learn from. And it doesn't always have to be like the main thing that you are selling. It could be something a little bit different. So I've done, and I'll actually show you guys, and I'll go back to this. I've done master classes on last month. It was on like sales strategy. I've done master classes on how to get to like 20K months. Master classes on how to make 5 figures on Black Friday. This was a 3-day event, how to plan to profit. And that was something that I did in December to help people plan their year. Story selling was something that I did, I think in like, I don't know, October, and then consistent 30K months through attractive content. So these are a few master classes. Some of them are like 2-day events, 3-day events that I have done within like the past few months. And a lot of them came from something that I was like, oh, this is something that's like really working right now. I really feel like talking about it, or my audience needed help with, right? So something that I also love to think about is like seasonality. What is currently happening kind of like in the season? What is happening right now in like the industry? How can I really tie this together with what I want to basically teach? So in November, that month, it was all about like Black Friday, right? Every single person who's a business owner online, they were creating their Black Friday offer. So I'm like, okay, let me create a masterclass on how to make 5 figures on Black Friday. Simple and easy. Okay, so let me go back here. So I recommend just like assessing like what is something that's like exciting for you to teach, and what is also something your audience wants to learn. And the easiest way to like get a feel of would they attend, would they not, is just do a poll. Do a poll on your social media. You can do this on your Instagram stories and ask them, or if you do have a Facebook group, I would just do it in the Facebook group. Now, one other thing, let me first take a sip of water. One other thing that I was going to say is, let's say 1 month you like don't do a free event, or like you're traveling, whatever it is. I make it an intention to promote a pre-existing event training freebie. So let's say next month, I don't do like a free live online event. I will make an intention for like a few days to focus on promoting, not even promoting, like getting people to opt in to watch like a free training or a freebie. And the reason why is because there's always new people who are following you. There's always new eyeballs, even if you don't think they are. And the reason, once again, why I say this is because just before I got on this masterclass, I had someone reach out to me. She doesn't even follow me. Who said, I've been watching your content for a few months. She might follow me on TikTok or something, but this is through Instagram. And she's like, I just love your vibe and I love your energy. Like, I think I'm ready to join your membership. And I'm like, oh, that is amazing. It's like, I didn't even know she was there. I didn't even know she like existed. So the entire thing is like, people are watching, even if they might not be like actually following you, but they are. So make it an intention to promote something that's of value for them, so they actually like continue to consume. Okay, because think about it. Like, logically think about this for a sec. If you have people watching and if you have people following you, which all of you do, and those people continue watching and continue following, but they haven't become a client yet, is because they don't have all the information they need. They don't have the trust built, and they don't have, like, they might not have the certainty either in you or in themselves. Like, something is missing. So the only thing that you can do is continue providing resources that will help them get from like over here to over here. That's it. Like, that's all. And it's not too much, because I also know so many of you that are watching right now have attended like literally probably all of my master classes. And some of you guys are my clients and some of you guys aren't. And then we have some new people here too. So like, think about it in that way. Like, your job as a business owner is like to continue providing the value needed and continue providing the resources to give someone all the information they need in order to make like the jump in investing into one of your offers. Okay. And if this is something that you just integrate into, and let me go back into like your monthly strategy or your monthly plan, that will really, really, really help you. Like, you will see the biggest difference when it comes to audience growth and when it comes to clients. And for some of you that might just be starting in your business, like, honestly, all of you that are in your business, like, I recommend doing this, whether you're at like 5 figures, 6 figures, multi 6 figures, or even 7 figures. Like, I would continue doing this because it just like builds on top of each other. Okay. Any questions so far with, let me just go back, with like video content, collaborations, or online events? Any of these things that you guys have questions on? Now, before we wrap it up, I want to go through like what I do basically like ASAP to implement everything that I went through. Now, my like throat is getting scratchy. I just got back from Iowa. And if you guys know, like in Iowa, like it's cold. And every time I go back and forth when it comes to weather, my throat just gets like so scratchy. So I'm like, usually I do hour-long master classes talking. I'm perfectly fine. I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna lose my voice. But anyways, going back to this, like what I do ASAP is, number one, create a list of video topic ideas and start creating videos on them. Like, this also, if you guys are new to creating video or you're just refining that, like, this is about testing, this is about tweaking, and this is about adjusting until you see traction. Like, I wouldn't go into creating video of like, okay, I'm gonna make this like a perfect video and then like hoping it'll go viral. Of course that could happen, and I've had a lot of my videos go viral, but that happened through like testing, tweaking, posting a lot of videos to see what's working and seeing what's not working. So I would make a list of topic ideas. And if you're like, I don't know what topic ideas to start from like, what do you actually teach your clients, and what would your clients ask you as questions? What would they ask you? And make a list. Okay. And then number 2, make a list of 5 people in your current network you would love to interview or get interviewed by. You guys are all in this group, and like, you have my permission. Literally make a post in this group saying that you want to collaborate with this certain person. Like, if you're making a post in this group or anywhere else, I would make it a point to say, hey, I'm looking to collaborate and do interviews with somebody or get interviewed in this. Write out specific niches, specific topics, specific industries. So you're also not wasting your time, right? Because the goal isn't to just get on interviews with any old person. The goal is to get on intentional interviews. Okay. And then in parentheses, I said, make a post. Now, if you guys are on Facebook, this has worked really, really well for me. And I'll do this maybe every like 6 months. Because I don't do it I don't do it that often, but every like 6 months, maybe I'll make a post on my Facebook saying, I'm in the season of giving back to a lot of people when it comes to insert topic, when it comes to branding, when it comes to getting like exposed with content, when it comes to building your audience, when it comes to X, Y, and Z. I would love to come on your podcast group and do a training or interview. Comment below if you're interested. Like something along the lines of that. I would literally just make a post and ask my audience. And you will be surprised by how many people have podcast shows, how many people have Facebook groups, and how many people also have paid containers. I've done this for Facebook group interviews. For paid containers, I've done trainings and just interviews on like Instagram and podcast shows. What happens is when someone sees a post like that, they're also looking for content. So sometimes when you ask for an interview, you're like, oh, I'm only being selfish because like I want to get interviewed. But we forget sometimes that the other person is also looking to interview people. So honestly, I would have like all of you guys make a post on your Facebook. You can even do on your Instagram. I just find Facebook works a little bit better saying this on like your profile, right? But I wouldn't just say like, I'm looking for like guests, like I want to get interviewed. Like I'd make it a point to like write out why, like what you would focus on, and just have people comment below. And you'll also have people that like tag other people, so that way you'll get exposed to a lot more people. Okay. Let me know in the comments. You guys are quiet today. Let me know in the comments if you guys are going to do this, because I like want to see all of you guys getting on interviews, doing trainings, getting on podcast shows, like all of the things. And I even know some of you guys that are watching live have like podcast shows and do interviews. So if you guys are looking for guests, connect with everybody else in this group. And then the last thing is, think of your next online event idea, whether it's a masterclass, a challenge, a workshop, whatever it is. Start planning dates and promotion around it. Okay, so think of what is something that you're winning at. What is something that you're just like so freaking excited to talk about right now? What is something that you maybe like your audience has been asking you, or what is something that your clients have been asking you about a lot right now? Think of that and then start planning like what your next event is going to be. Okay. And if you guys are in my membership, Monetize Social, next month, it's all focused on masterclasses. Okay. And Kristen just said, I'm always looking for guests. I love the podcast I did with Sabah. She was so full of amazing energy and information. Yes, Kristen, I love doing that podcast with you. Kristen has an amazing podcast. And like what she said, she's always looking for guests. So that's a perfect connection for you guys to make. Okay. So before we go to any questions you guys have, before I wrap it up, as always, I want to invite you guys into my membership. A lot of you guys that are watching are already in the membership, but if you guys are not, I'm going to break it down for you guys. Monetize Social membership, if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically the place to be if you guys want to learn how to grow your social media and sign on clients every single day. So the structure of that masterclass is every single month there's a different theme. Okay, so the theme could be this month, it was all about celebrity content that converts. Next month, it's all about masterclass madness. The month before, it was about like TikTok. So we rotate every single month. So that way, every week, you basically get action steps to a weekly plan and a video training that gets dropped. So every single day in a week, you know exactly what you're doing to grow your social media and sign on clients. So aside from the weekly action plan you get, you also get immediate access to all of the trainings that are in the portal that you guys can see here. So a few things, if you guys join the membership now, you get access to is this month's content, celebrity content that converts, because that's staying in the membership. TikTok explosion, this is all how to create video content. Video content. So you're like, I don't know how to create video content. You will go through and understand how to create hooks, how to create headlines, how to make your videos SEO friendly. So TikTok explosion goes through that. And of course, like the framework of video on TikTok, it's similar to what you would be doing on Instagram and Facebook too. Crafting winning products. So if you're like, I need to know and I need to learn how to craft out products that actually sell, and then how to sell high ticket offers, 10K plus. So those are just a few things that you get access to if you join the membership. And then of course, coming in May, like what I just said, we're all focused on masterclass madness. So learn how to host powerful online events that attract hundreds of attendees and sell out your offers. So if you have ever done a online event or you're planning to do one and it hasn't worked the way you wanted to, the entire month of May, I'm going to go through how I've hosted, like, I feel like I probably hosted almost like 100 online events, and every single time I attract new followers and new buyers. Okay. And since I'm crazy for you guys and with you guys, if you guys join the membership in the next 48 hours, and if you join the 6-month or yearly option, you get a 30-minute one-on-one call with me where I'm going to go through and help you game plan your masterclass and sell your offer. So Monetize Social membership, you can either join on a monthly, 6-month, or yearly basis. So if you join, if you join the monthly, you're already going to get access to so much, and you're going to get access to masterclass madness in May. But if you do join the 6-month or yearly option, I am going to get on a one-on-one call with you and help you craft out your next masterclass. Okay. So if you join in the next 48 hours, you're going to get that. And this is basically the pricing for it. So $49 for the monthly, $245 for the 6-month, and $450 for the annual. So of course, if you sign up for 6-month or annual, you save a little bit more money. So if you're like, I already know I'm going to be in it for a few more months than just like 1 month, it's probably better to join like 6-month or annual. Okay. So I am so excited. Like, honestly, I love doing masterclasses and I love doing online events. So I'm really excited to get on some one-on-one calls with you guys. I don't do a whole lot of one-on-one calls anymore, only with my high-level clients. So every time I do an offer like this, it's really exciting because I also have a lot of new people join. So getting on calls with you guys and structuring out your masterclass, going through like the messaging, the marketing, the promo, like all the things, it's like so fun for me. But like for you, you'll know exactly what to do when it comes to like launching, getting people to sign up, and then of course selling your offer. So if you guys want the link to join the membership, whether it's the month, 6-month, or annual, comment below membership, or honestly, just send me a direct message and I will get you the link to join. But that is all for today. Let me stop sharing this so I can see you guys and you guys can see me. And that is all I basically have for today. And Lauren's in the membership. If you aren't in the membership, join. It's amazing. Like, it is basically the place to be if you guys want to just like constantly learn and be around like what is currently working right now, like what's working, what's not working, what to focus on, what not to focus on. And like the main thing also is like the community is just fucking amazing. Like, I love the community. Aside from the portal, there's a private Facebook group community aside from this one where you can ask questions, you can post wins, and then once a month there's a live Q&A call with me where you basically just get customized support with your business and where you're at. Okay, so if you guys want the link to join, send me a direct message and I will get you guys the link. But that is the end of today's masterclass. I thought I'd go like a lot over, but a lot of you guys, not many of you guys had questions at all, which is fine. Kristen, I cannot believe the value of the membership blows my mind how much you get in there and making connections. Yeah, absolutely. Just this morning, I'm like, you know what? I might have to raise the price for the membership because there is a lot of good stuff on there. And I know some of you guys have asked me about the membership. So if you're on the fence and you're like, oh, I've been waiting to join, I'm not sure, now's the perfect time. Okay. So aside from that, post in the group, keep us updated on how you are growing your audience for the rest of April. In May, make a post so that way you guys can connect with other people, get on each other's platforms, audiences, all of the things. And as you guys know, I will probably see you guys next month for another masterclass. But also, if you guys are not registered for Empire Creator Live Show, that's a weekly live show I do every Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. I will see you guys on Monday because this past Monday I didn't do one. I was traveling, but I will be there next Monday. Okay. Erin, send me the link again, please. Kristen keeps pushing me in a good way. Erin, I will get you that link to join. Okay. I love you guys so much. I'm so happy that you guys are here. And to all my new people, let me know in the comments what you loved about this. What was your biggest takeaway? All of the things. Okay. I will see you guys on Monday for Empire Creator Live. And until then, make sure that you guys stay unforgettable. Bye, guys.